Thank you all for joining the call. This is Keep It Pro Training Call. My name is Monique. I'm your host for today. We are so excited to have you join this call. If it's your first time, welcome. Welcome to the Keep It Pro Training Call. This call is brought to you by Networking Wisdom. Every single Sunday, the same time, 4 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. This call is amazing. It's full of wisdom. We have a wonderful speaker every week, and I look forward to introducing him in a few moments. Before I do that, tell you a little bit more about the call. The call is going to give you tips, not just tips for your business, but also for yourself. You'll be intrigued during this call, full of wisdom, so please get ready. I really have the privilege of introducing someone to you that we are all excited to hear from. We're enjoying this series. Ladies and gentlemen, please grab your pen and paper, take some copious notes. The gentleman I want to introduce to you, he knows how to make money and achieve extraordinary results in a short period of time. In his first month of his previous company, he did $10 million in sales. That was $159,000 in commissions, and he helped over 250 people make between $1,000 to $100,000 in their first month. That's some great results. Not only that, the tender age of 25, this gentleman achieved millionaire status. Still humble as he is, he helps coach individuals. He's a leader of leaders, a coach of coach. One of the best and most impressive qualities we love about him is that he's a master builder, and he helps individuals transform to reach their fullest potential. I have the pleasure to introduce to you the man of the hour, Mr. Romacio Fulcher, also known as California Kid. Romacio, are you there?
Absolutely, I'm here. Thank you so much, Monique, for stepping up graciously and being the host again of another edition of the Keep It Pro Training Call. Guys, I'm super fired up. Over the last week, I've gotten several messages from several people. It always amazes me when people email me or message me that are from other countries, and they're telling me that the replay that they're listening to is really helping transform their life. It's a great feeling to know that the time that I'm had here on earth, that I'm truly living my purpose. I'm truly making a difference. I think all of us are guilty in the fact that sometimes we wonder, is what we're doing really mattering to other people other than just ourselves? So it's a refreshing feeling, and I just tell you guys, it's those calls, it's these messages that keep me keeping this platform going for free. I'm going to be honest with you. You know, I have a sweatshirt that I had made, and you guys know I'm always known for saying this, that you can actually count the seeds inside of an apple, but you cannot count the apples inside of one seed. And so, again, when I receive that one message from whomever it may be, as a thank you or whatever to these calls, it really does affect me. You never know the one person that's hearing this information and how it will become a huge part of their transformation. You never know. So, again, I just want to let you know, guys, if this is your first time jumping on this platform, if you ever want to help us and you ever want to, kind of celebrate what it is that we're doing, always share this information with other people. The greatest thank you you can give me is by sharing this information with other people absolutely free. Never forget that gifts are meant to share, they're not meant to keep. So continue to be a giver and actually let other people know. You never know where someone's at in their business, someone's at in their life, and a free call like this from someone who doesn't even know them, how impactful this call could be. And so I want to say thank you to all of you that have actually, throughout the years, over the last 3+ years or so, that have actually join this platform, share this message with other people. I honor and I salute you for being a part of what we call the Keep It Pro Training Call. Now, listen, guys, we're continuing a series that we've been doing for the last 3 weeks. It's called Contagious Confidence, and today is part 4 of that series. It's kind of funny when I hear the word series. I know a lot of pastors in today's time, they do so many different series on different topics, and every time I say that word, we're doing a series, I don't know, it just kind of my mind thinks of pastors doing that, so I think it's kind of funny. But this is the first time in 3 years that I've ever done a series on a particular topic, on a particular subject. I've never in 3 years spent 4 different Sundays on the same topic. And for those of you that are listening in for your first time, or maybe this is, I don't know, your second or third time coming back to the platform, The reason why we're doing that, this topic, honestly, guys, this is everything about your life. Throughout the last week, I've deliberately taken time to pay attention to every man, every woman, whether it was a business setting, a social setting, it didn't matter what it was, even a child, every person. What I've done is I've taken my time to really pay attention to one thing about that individual, and that is their level of confidence at that moment in time. I'm going to say it again. Over the last week, I have deliberately paid attention to how a man walks, a woman walks, how a man talks, how a woman talks, how a baby. I've constantly paid attention to how people carry themselves, how they conduct themselves, their disposition. It didn't matter whether they're playing basketball, whether they're building a house, whether they're signing some paperwork, whether they're reprimanding a child. It doesn't matter. What I was noticing is the title of our call is so important: Contagious Confidence. Confidence is everything about your entire life. There is no area of life where confidence is eliminated. You know, confidence, as your confidence is built and building, it makes you feel good about your self-esteem. It makes you feel assured about what you're doing. It puts a smile on the inside of you because you just feel so good about you and the energy that you are possessing at that moment in time. And notice how I talked about the E word called energy. Today we're talking about confidence, but I'm sliding in that E word, energy, because life is energy. Energy is everything. Life is energy. The energy that you put out, honestly, it will be the energy that you receive back. So when we talk about confidence, how does confidence and energy go together? Okay, guys, you're going to have to stay with me today. I promise you, I'm doing 75 miles an hour in a 15-mile-an-hour zone. You're going to stay with me today. How does confidence and energy go together? Let me say that again. I don't want to go too fast. Life is energy, okay? If we were to cut you open and look at your blood cells, we're going to notice, are you alive or are you dying? We're going to notice, is there life in between your blood cells or not? Or is there movement, okay? And so life is energy. And so literally when we talk about confidence, a lot of times what happens is when a person doesn't have confidence or they're not sure, ironically, their energy levels begin to decrease. Their energy levels become lower. Ooh, let me say this again. I hope you get this. As we're talking about how to build contagious confidence, when a person doesn't have confidence in a particular area, and I want you just to think for a moment, any area of your life, you'll notice that you don't have an abundance amount of energy in that particular topic, in that particular area. So, for example, let's say if I were to say to you, let's go roller skating. And I just made that up for the sake of conversation. Let's say if I said to you, let's go roller skating. Well, some of you, when you hear the word roller skating, you immediately, like something inside of you gets scared and fearful, like, oh, no. I don't want to do no roller skating because I'm not confident in if I put some skates on with some wheels on the bottom of them and I'm rolling, oh, my goodness, oh, no. You immediately begin to freak out because you think to yourself, no, I'm not confident in roller skating. And you'll notice that the energy that you put into the atmosphere about that specific topic, because of you not having confidence in it, I'm trying to show you the parallel between energy and confidence. Don't worry, I'm going to take you somewhere with this. I'm showing you the parallel between the energy that you put out into the atmosphere begins to either build or shrink your confidence. Let me say it again. The energy that you put out. Listen, what I'm saying here is this. Nobody knows everything. So it's virtually impossible to be utterly confident in every single thing that you do. And the reason why is because one of the things that builds our confidence is repetition. Familiarity, right? That's why they say repetition is the mother of skill. So if we're talking about roller skating, and I have never gone roller skating, obviously a person's not going to be so confident in roller skating if I haven't done it. Okay? But here's what I mean when I talk about energy. Life is energy, and if you immediately don't see, the only thing in this lifetime that you have control of is you've got control of your attitude. And I know all of us have heard this a billion times. But see, your attitude is going to determine, as my mother would always say, it's going to determine your altitude, how high you go. So if the attitude at the very beginning of a thing is, I'm afraid, I don't want to do it, it probably won't work, no, then you're going to have negative energy towards it at the very beginning. Let me share with you how important your attitude is. You see, your attitude is everything, guys. I can't stress this enough. This is why, if you have children, the number one thing you got to do, guys, you've got to make sure you are pre-programming the right vibrations into your kid, the right attitudes, the right affirmations. You got to make sure that you're doing this to your child, because attitude is everything. It's attitude. It comes down to what's their perspective, what's their perception about getting better, about growing, about adventure, about discovering. What's their perception about, success, about self-esteem? What is their disposition? What is their attitude about? And a lot of times a kid's attitude is shaped by their environment that comes from their parents. Now, none of us are perfect parents. I'm making the point to you to show you how all of these things work together. We've talked about attitude, we're talking about energy, and ultimately we're talking about confidence. These things go together. So now, going back to our example, let's suppose there's something that you're unfamiliar with, something you have not done before, right? Something you're not confident in. What I'm saying to you is that if you have a bad attitude about learning new things, trying new things, trying to go to new heights in life, if you have a bad attitude, that means you're going to put out bad energy. If you put out bad energy, it'll be very difficult, next to impossible, for your confidence to increase in that thing, because even if you take action towards it, but you have a bad attitude and you're believing it's not going to work, ironically, your confidence is not going to increase. So, what I'm sharing with you is how energy and confidence go hand in hand. So, with that being said, let me tell you what today's topic that we're going to focus in on as we're talking about contagious confidence is about. Today we're going to talk about movement. We're going to talk about movement. I'm going to share with you today how movement does affect your confidence. Now, remember, we're talking about confidence in not just one area. Monique, if you're still there on the back line, if you could mute out, I'd appreciate it. Monique, if you're still there, if you could mute your phone. If you're still there, if you can mute, that would help us. All right, there we go. So I'm talking about movement, and I want to share with you how movement is so radically important when it comes to building your confidence. And I know that we're talking about confidence in a lot of different areas. We're not just focusing on confidence in our business. We're talking about confidence in everything. Remember I told you on the very first call about confidence, we talked about how confidence must be built in truth. The very first thing when we talk about confidence, it has to be built upon truth. And I told you the truth comes from the Bible. You need to know who you are. You need to know the image that you were created in. You need to know the power that's within you. You need to know all of these things, regardless of your race or your gender. You need to know the truth. Also, upon you learning the truth about yourself and who made you and the power that's within you, you will notice that as human beings, we are the only thing that God created with his own hands. And when he molded us, okay, and if you go back and you look at the beginning of time, and I don't want to get too scriptural here for you today, but you'll begin to discover if you go back to the beginning of time, how much movement, how much action back in the old days that these people were doing. They walked. They rode cattle. I mean, there was a lot of movement, okay? And so I want to really, really uncover this point here of we were created, write this down if you're taking notes. Here it is. We were created to move. This is very profound. I remember when I was a child, I used to wonder, how in the world can God be everywhere at the same time? Man, how can you do that? How can he be in China at the same time as he's in Africa, at the same time he's in California? How can he do that? How can he be everywhere at the same time? The point of the story here is that God is always on the move. He's always on the move. Always. I'm sharing this with you because we're talking about how do you build or continue building your confidence. You must continue to move. When you look at this word called time, T-I-M-E, time says to all of us, ready or not, here I come. So time waits for nobody. It waits for no man. So what do we learn there? Time is always ticking. It's always moving. So I know that our emotions as human beings may go up and down with trials and tribulations of our life, but the one thing that I can assure you that will aid you, that will help you build and strengthen your confidence no matter where you find yourself is movement. Move. Move. You must move. Now, I know that not all of us, because I know I'm guilty for making bad food choices and stuff like that. I'm not a perfect eater. I'm working on it. I really am. But I can tell you this. I'm going to say it again. We were created to move. A lot of the times, the reason why people are not confident in life and situations, and whether it's business, whether it's spiritual, whether it's relationships, whether it's health, whether it's all of the above. A lot of the times why they're not confident is oftentimes the greatest cure is they're not moving. Woo! This is really good. This is really good. They're not moving. Listen to me. I want you to think of a baby or think of a child. And children are so, we can learn so much about life by studying kids. I mean, it's one of the most amazing, what's one of the most amazing things that you can learn if you just look at a kid. I'm reminded of an example of how kids, they love to move all day long. They want to adventure. They want to try stuff. They walk, they fall down, they get back up, they try again. They're just constantly venturing or trying or moving towards new things. It's like from the moment they're born, it's like a race to go and discover all that they can. And somewhere around this word called adulthood, we stop moving as much. We stop venturing. We stop exploring. We stop trying. And when you stop, ladies and gentlemen, so does your confidence. I'm trying to explain to you two things. One, what you need to continue doing to build and strengthen your confidence. But two, I'm also trying to uncover to you or to reveal to you why maybe you're not so confident. It's because you're not moving. For those of you that follow me on Facebook or social media, you know that I'm oftentimes known for saying that when you feel good, you do good. I know that many other people, they love to say that when you look good, you feel good. Well, that ain't true. I've had many a days in my life where I was looking pretty snazzy, but I didn't feel so good, but I looked good. So it's not true in my life that if you look good, you automatically feel good. That ain't true. That's just some rhetoric. But what is true, when you feel good on the inside, you automatically do good. And just think about that. When you're feeling good, okay, when you're truly feeling good, and I don't mean listening to social media or listening to what the world says, oh, well, you need to go get some alcohol. That'll make you feel real good. No, I'm talking about being honest and sincere with yourself when you know your body, you know, and everybody's body is different. When you feel good, okay, just think about that for a minute. When you imagine you feeling good, whatever that looks like for you, I promise you, your energy levels are higher. I promise you, you're more productive. I promise you, you're more vibrant. I promise you, you do good. And so what am I saying, ladies and gentlemen? I'm saying your confidence is tied to movement. You need to move more. I know you went through a divorce. I know you're going through pain. I know you're looking for finances. I know you don't know how to do that. I know you're trying this new thing, this new relationship, this, that, and the third. I know. You're not 1,000% sure. I get it. But just like a child, the more that you move and the more that you move and the more that you move, you will become more and more and more and more confident in your movement. I'll say that again. Just like a child, when they first begin to walk, they stumble and they're not sure and they wobble and da-da-da. But guess what? They get back up and they try again and they keep going. The persistency of them continuing, watch this now, watch this. The persistency of them continuing to be in alignment with what God created or what God intended for them to do, which is move, builds their confidence. I'm going to say it again. I want you to catch what I just said. When we align ourselves with what God has intended for us. Now you say, well, what did God intend? I told you, go read Galatians 5, the fruit of the Spirit. And you're going to learn that all of us are going to go through some dark seasons. You can't have summertime all year long. It don't work. I don't care who your mama is. I don't care who your daddy is. I don't care how much money you have or don't have. I don't care what side of the tracks you grew up on. I don't care what your race is. You cannot have summertime all year long. You're going to become strong and to have a real confidence. We all are going to go through some dark seasons. It's a part of the process. But when this happens to you, you must continue to stay in alignment with what God intended, what he created you to be. And one thing I can tell you as a human being, the reason why you have a heartbeat, he wants you to keep moving. I'm reminded of a good friend of mine by the name of John Cole. John is 98 years old now, 98. And I remember he's a friend of mine. He lives about a couple miles from my house. And this man is healthy. He still drives, everything. And I would always say, John, tell me, man, what's the secret to life? You know, I'm 42. He's 98. And I would say, John, what's the secret to life? And he would say, Romacio, if I gave you one secret, here it is. You put one foot in front of the other and don't stop moving. Just keep moving. And, you know, it sounded so simple. But coming from a 98-year-old wise man who's lived a lot longer than many of us, now I understand what he's talking about. Because when I do my homework and I learn about the image that I was created in from God, I understand that there will be trials and tribulations. There will be times where I'm not so certain versus I'm completely certain. And how do I continue to build my confidence in anything? How do I keep doing? Well, I've got to keep moving. I've got to keep moving. I've got to keep going. And so today's topic, as we talk about movement, I really want to really boil this down into physical exercise. I want to talk to you and give you an example, first of all. Imagine yourself being very, very sad and depressed. Sad and depressed, maybe even angry. Now, I want you to imagine yourself doing 30 jumping jacks as fast as you can while looking up in the air with a smile on your face. One more time. Imagine doing 30 jumping jacks as fast as you can with a smile on your face looking up towards the sky, and you're doing 30 jumping jacks. Guys, scientifically, it is impossible for you to do 30 jumping jacks as fast as you can, looking up in the air with a smile on your face and still be depressed. It's impossible for you to do that. It is impossible for you to do that. Because what is when you move your body, when you move your body, your heart rate increases. Your blood begins to flow. Okay, I want to talk about that right there. I want to really, really, really underline the word flow, blood flow. The blood begins to flow. As the blood begins to flow, all of a sudden things begin to go. Write this down. It's very profound. I hope all of you get it. I really do. As the blood begins to flow and things begin to circulate, what happens is things begin to go. As the blood flows, things go. And so what I'm trying to say to you is when you begin to move and you change your state, you change, your state of being static and being still, and you begin to become active and you move, it's impossible scientifically for you to be in the same state you were before you started doing the jumping jacks, which was angry, sad, and depressed. It's impossible for you to still be in that same state when you've now done these jumping jacks. Your heart rate is pounding, your blood flow is moving, you got a smile on your face. It's impossible. You physically have changed your state. So it's impossible 2 minutes later, after doing the jumping jacks, for you to still be in the same state, angry, depressed, and sad. What am I saying? What I'm saying to you, the only way you can go back to anger, sadness, and depression is you have to begin to physically go to that place again. Mentally start to think about that thing again. Mentally, you'll notice your shoulders come forward. Okay? You'll notice your posture begins to slouch over. Your thoughts become dim, right? Maybe shortness of breath. You'll notice that there are certain physical things that begin to happen in order for you to do anger, in order for you to do depression. Notice what I'm saying. These are things that you do. So if you can do something, you can also undo it. So today's call, as we're talking about contagious confidence and how to build our confidence, what we're infusing into today's call is the word movement. I must move my body. Now, what I'm going to encourage you to do is to create some type of routine, some type of daily routine. Maybe every day if you can. If you can't do every day, do 5 days a week. Can't do 5 days a week, do 4 days a week. But you've got to have a routine in which you move. Now, I'm going to tell you one of the best ones that I think are easy and they're fun when we talk about movement routines. One of the best ones, and you can do all sorts of them. There's many of them you can do. But one of the best ones I think that are really, really fun for a lot of people is, believe it or not, dancing. And I know not everybody has rhythm. I know it. But it doesn't matter. It's kind of like singing in the shower. Not all of us can sing, but we do it anyway, right? Because we think we can. Dancing is something that's really, really fun, and it allows you to use or try and use all the muscles in your body. Because you're moving. You're just moving everything. And I don't want you to think about dancing so much with rhythm. I want you to think about just trying to move and dance. Doesn't matter how you look. The goal is just to move you want to move everything. Move every area of your body. You want to move your arms, move your neck, move your tongue, move your eyes, move your head, move your shoulders, move your butt, move your knees, move your feet. You want to dancing is something that creates movement. movement creates circulation. And as I told you, when the blood begins to flow, everything must go because you're changing your state. And so a lot of the times I'm noticing that people's lack of movement is also increasing their lack of confidence. Remember, I told you this week, I just began to watch people's body language. I watched people talk, move, think. I watched them, and I'm noticing, are they sure in their movement? It doesn't mean that they know everything. I'm just watching, are they confident in what it is they're doing? And the whole purpose of this exercise this week is I wanted to see how many people really are just not sure. They're just not sure. Now, don't get it confused just because you got six-pack abs and you walk in with your shoulders all back and all this stuff, that all of a sudden means you're confident. No, it just means you might be confident in one area, your body. But I wasn't looking for physical specimens this week. I'm looking for people that are confident or not. That's what I was looking for, just to see. Because I want to get it across to all of you. How are you going to really attract a better life and you have a low self-image? Do you think it's just going to luckily happen to you? How are you going to attract the leaders into your business that you want to partner with you so that you guys can go together and build something gigantic together? How are you going to attract that and you're just very unsure of everything? I need you to understand what you cannot see is far more important than what you can see. You see, this topic of confidence, as I said, today is part 4 of Contagious Confidence. This is something that is so gigantic, ladies and gentlemen, we're going to do it again the next week. Because I'm trying to deliberately get a message across to every entrepreneur that listens to the sound of my voice. Every man or woman that comes to this call, I want you to understand if there's one area of your life that I would dedicate so much time and so much energy to working on, it would be my confidence. And today is part 4 of the call, so I don't want you to be overly excited about today, but not excited about part 3 and part 2 and part 1, because all of these go together. And after this call is done, of course, we upload the call to the website for you to download and re-listen to it. And I'm asking you to share this message with everyone around the world, because everything, write this down, everything hinges upon your confidence. Everything. This is how important confidence is. It's the difference maker. It's the difference maker. And what we've been talking about, guys, is different ways that we can build or strengthen our confidence. Today, I'm proposing, or I'm letting all of you know, that movement is something that you must do. The more you move, the better you feel. The more you move, the better you feel. Movement is everything. Think of a baby. They move, and they just run around, they play, they fall up, and they fall down, stand up, run, stop. They keep moving. And when they get to moving, guess what? They get to grooving, and they get to feeling good. Movement. This is not a complicated topic, guys. But somewhere in this thing called life, we get things confused, or we begin to misunderstand the purpose of life. And there is a gift that's been given to you. You do have a purpose in this life. You do. Some of you know it and some of you don't. But you do have a purpose. But let me share something with you. Even when you discover your purpose, you don't begin to explode in life until you really become confident in your purpose. There again, it's very difficult to achieve anything great without persistence, yes. Without hard work, yes. Without consistency, yes. Without courage, yes. But above all, you will never, ever begin to sustain success without confidence. You must increase your confidence. The fastest way to do that, after knowing the truth, so you're going to have to go all the way back to part one of our call. After knowing the truth, the fastest way to do that, guys, is move. You've got to move your body. The better you move, the more you move, the better you feel. The more you move, the better you feel. Movement is energy. Energy and confidence go together. Energy and confidence go together. Ladies and gentlemen, I really hope you will take today's call, short, powerful, but very effective, and I hope that you share it with everybody you love and care for. There's somebody right now, they're stuck. They're overwhelmed. They're trying to figure out how do they make their next move. They're behind on maybe their luck. They're behind on their goals right now. They're just situations aren't where they would hope for them to be. They're not in a summer season right now. And they're trying to figure out how do they get their swag back? How do they get that swag back? How do they get that confidence? How do they get that back? When I was a little girl, I was confident. When I was going to college and I graduated with a 3.0 or a 3.5 GPA, I was confident. And then all of a sudden I got in the workforce and this thing happened and I got married and I got some kids and I don't know. All of a sudden I just am not so confident anymore. What happened to me? And I'm telling you, they stopped moving. God is always on the move. In the words of John Cole, put one foot in front of the other and don't stop moving. Ladies and gentlemen, I want you to really take a few moments when this call ends today, and I want you to rank yourself in every area of your life. The things that you can control. We're not talking about your partner, your business partner, your relationship partner, but the things that you can control. I want you to rank yourself on a scale of 1 to 10. Where's your confidence? 1 being not so good and 10 being extremely high. Where is your confidence in your faith, spirituality? Where's your confidence in your health? Where's your confidence level in your finances? Where's your confidence in your job description, whatever it is that you do? Where's your confidence in every area of your life? If you're parenting children, where's your confidence at? Confidence is everything. Remember what we said on previous calls. When your confidence goes, everything else goes out the window. This is how important protecting, strengthening, building our confidence should be to all of us. It is everything, ladies and gentlemen. Everything. So, ladies and gentlemen, now that you've heard today what the most important topic is in your life that you need to strengthen, you need to fix, you need to build, I truly hope and pray you rank yourself on different areas in your life of where your confidence is, and I hope you begin to apply what we just talked about today. Do not just hear what I'm saying. I want you to do it. Movement, 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 movement. The more you move, the better you feel. The more you move, the better you feel. The more, see, this is why, listen to me now, in the spiritual world, this is why in the Bible God talks about clearly in His Word. No matter what you're going through, it talks about always giving God praise. You know, we talk about David, the great warrior, and one of the things, he was a praiser, whether he was doing wrong, whether he was doing right. He never stopped praising God. Why? Because it's God's grace and God's mercy that you're still alive. It's God's grace and God's mercy that you're still here. And so, yes, we all are going to go through problems, and we're going to go through things. All of us. And some things we go through, we deserved it. We did it. But thank you, thanks be to God for his grace and his mercy. And that's why he deserves continual praise just for who he is, number one. Number two, he deserves continual praise because he's kept you, strengthens you. You're able to walk and talk, and you can still see people. You can still hear my voice. Some people can't hear me. You're still alive. So God has carried you. Praise. When you praise God, no matter what your scenario, even if you don't understand what's happening and why you're going through that, but you continuously give the praise, what happens is you constantly keep building your confidence. But even when you're praising God, I want you to understand, it requires you to move. You must move your mouth. You must move your body. Lord, I thank you. You don't just sit there, Lord, I thank you, Lord, I thank you. No, you give real praise. Imagine when you go to the basketball game or go to the sports game and you're praising the athletes, you clap your hands, you pump your fists, you jump up and down. It's the same thing when you're praising God. You're thankful, right? You're grateful. But see, I want you to notice something. When you're praising, guess what you're doing? You are moving your body. Movement is the topic on today's call. You must move. You must move. So the answer for many of you that are listening, you have not been moving. You've been stuck in the same thing for many years. And it's time to move. God is always on the move. A lot of times people will always say that they're waiting on God, and that's not true. God finished his work over 2,000 years ago. Let me repeat that. God finished his work over 2,000 years ago. So you can't be waiting on God. God, in essence, is waiting on you to move. Go back and think about kids. They don't stop moving. So my prayer for each and every single one of you today is that you will take this call and you will put it into action right now. Right now. Start with ranking yourself so that you can see where you are at in your confidence in every area of your life. I then hope after you've done that you will put together a plan of action, a routine of movement that you will do. Just try it out this week. For the next 7 days, let's just try it for 7 days so that you can see what I'm talking about. And you're going to notice that the more you move, the better you feel. And remember what I tell you. When you feel good, baby, you do good. When you feel good, you're more powerful. You're sexier. You're more alert. You're more alive. You got more energy. You're more helpful. You're more thoughtful. You're kinder. You're flexible. You're powerful. This is what I need you to understand, how important it is for you to keep moving. Keep moving. Keep moving. Keep moving. Keep moving. Next week, ladies and gentlemen, we're going to continue the same message on contagious confidence. Next week, we're going to talk about part 5, and part 5 is going to be rhythm. We're going to talk about rhythm. We're going to talk about the power of rhythm and how rhythm really creates insane amount of confidence. I can't wait to get to next week. So, guys, listen, I love you guys dearly. Take this call, apply this message, share it with everybody you know, and always remember, in all that you do, don't ever forget, there's nobody in the entire world any more important than you. Ladies and gentlemen, I love you guys. I'll see you guys next week. Bye-bye, everybody.